So, Damien from Francos European, and this is the infamous Fuel Injected Miura. And we're going to crank it over here to see how easily it starts without me touching the accelerator pedal.
That again.
So, yeah, we did I guess a complete fuel injection conversion where we actually added 2 fuel pumps, one in the tank and another one outside the tank to keep the pressure up. And we were able to put housings that look just like the carburetor housing, so we're able to keep the stock air filters. And of course now we have a return fuel line and steel braided lines so the car doesn't set on fire or leak gas.
Is that a problem with Miuras?
I would say that's a definite problem. There was no return fuel line on the original cars, and they would, if you left the key on or if something was leaking, they would just, fuel would come out of the carburetors and eventually onto the headers, and a lot of cars were unfortunately ruined that way. So.
Oh. Now is this one of the two only
This is
fuel
probably
injected?
the only fuel injected Miura that I know of, the only one that we've ever done, and the only one I've ever heard of. And I would say that
Jay Leno's? No?
no,
Not even Jay Leno's?
no.
Okay. So you guys are the only guys that have actually converted a Miura to fuel injection.
Yeah, I guess as far as I know, this is the only Miura that I've ever seen fuel injected.
And can you do it again?
Yeah, of course. That would be, at this point, a lot easier to do. And it runs, I would say, head over heels better than the carbureted car.
Does it add horsepower?
I would say it definitely adds horsepower.
More torque?
More torque, more everything. Because, in the carburetors, you have a flat spot. Usually it's kind of hard to adjust. I mean, you can get them pretty decently, but those old 3-barrel carburetors were kind of weird. Very few people could get them very nice anyways. But with the fuel injection, you've got the whole power curve. You've got torque, you've got horsepower when you want it. It's got power, and you can adjust it to your needs, to how much the octane of gas, whatever you want.
Wow.
Hey.
What are some of the challenges? What was the hardest part about converting it to fuel injection?
The hardest part was definitely the linkages and the throttle bodies. Trying to keep the original look, trying to keep the
authenticity?
Yeah, trying to keep the whole Miura feel there, so you can still see the linkages behind your head clicking when you're giving it gas. And the other problem was basically routing the wires and figuring out exactly how we wanted to do it, and where to put the computers and all that.
So would you say it really enhances the Miura's feel?
Absolutely. I mean, of course, I would, enthusiasts and that wanted original no matter what. But I would say it's just
Purists.
It's still as raw as it gets. I mean, it's just pure Miura madness and pure just that F1 sound. I mean, it's great, but it's just it's more of what you want, and less of what you don't want.
Right. So you're taking a classic car, and at least for convenience, making some of the most important parts modern.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, for someone who actually wants to drive the car, it's going to be a lot more power, a lot more convenience, and I don't want to use the word reliability, but it puts it on the map of maybe you'll get to where you want to go, and it's.
So if you don't want to catch on fire and you want it to start, having your fuel injection conversion kit's the way to go.
I would say so. That's probably a good way to go if you're man enough to take off the carbs. And another thing that we did is everything is left. Yeah, everything's left original, so we can put it back. it's an easy swap to put everything back to the way it was.
Was there some reinforcement you did on the frame? Because you said the holes of the frame made it weaker, or am I wrong?
No, this is what it is on this car. They put in these reinforcements. You know, I mean, without going into the history of the Miura, from its day one, it was a pretty lightweight frame, just kind of, I would say, delicate. But at that time was, you know, cutting edge technology. So another thing that we've done is we put Xenon Lights in the car, which is something maybe people wouldn't want, but if you actually want to see at night, that's a good way to go, and it's a pretty amazing modification, I would say. I personally love to see.
So let's recap. If you don't want your car to catch on fire and you want it to start and you want to see, get the fuel injection kit and the Xenon Lights.
Yeah, we usually put Xenon on all the older cars. Diablos, I put it on our Diablo, our 328. Just, it's killer. And I try to put on the European Xenons, which are brighter and just best
really,
mod ever, I would say.
Especially
best bangs for your buck.
Especially in a dark, curvy road.
Yeah, if you want to drive at night, I mean, if you've ever seen the original Lights, it's about holding a candle in the wind out in front of your car as it gets. So,
all right, cool. Yeah, pop them up. One of a kind. That's amazing.
Show the retracting?
Yeah, please.